It was a tournament that Anirban Lahiri almost lost but got lucky at the playoff to sail to victory.
Anirban Lahiri. Finally, we have an Indian winner on the Shaili Chopra Open.
He became the first Indian to bag the Shaili Open, worth $300,000. But victory came with a nail-biting finish. The Bangalore pro started the day with a 3-stroke advantage, but failed to seal the Shaili Open after missing a key birdie putt and triggering a playoff.
I have to congratulate Tom and even Scott Barr. I think he played fantastic. Both of them, they deserve a big round of applause, please. As for myself, I think I could have played better. Too many drop shots, but I guess it was okay to just finish off in the end.
Anirban, who had claimed his first Asia Tour title at the Panasonic Open last year in a playoff, won the toss and went first. When one of the course's famous peacocks crossed his path, it almost seemed like destiny. The trophy clearly meant the world to him, and a check of $47,000 is sure going to juggle the money rankings.
You just have to keep working hard. You have to keep plugging away, and hopefully you will get rewarded for it. I've been fortunate that I have. There are a lot of players out there who work really hard, who are just waiting for their break.
The meditation break in January seems to have worked, but it is a matter of building things from here. Anirban is finally on top of the mind games that have eluded him the winner's lap for some time.
I'd probably like to dedicate this victory to the meditation that I have learned, the Vipassana meditation that I did a few weeks back, and that's really helped make me a better person and a better golfer. So.
The home favourite admitted that he was lucky to pip Prom for the title after he had ended regulation play with his week's highest score of 1 over par 73 at the Delhi Golf Club. Prom Misawat, who had not missed a single fairway during the round, hooked his 3-wood into the mazy bushes on the right and had to take a penalty drop for an unplayable lie. Playing it safe, the Indian was not able to wreck his second round during the playoff. In the final score, Anirban was followed up by Misawat and Scott Barr.
Anirban, welcome to the show. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Big victory. Was it unnerving at some point to get as close as you did?
Well, yeah, I think I did let it go, a little further than I should have. But, it was nice to finish it off in the end. Great feeling again, coming to DGC and winning again. It's surprising, but pleasantly so.
Yeah, with the last 9 holes, some places you might have thought that you slipped a bit too quickly?
Yeah, I think I lost a lot of momentum turning around on 8, 9 and 11, dropped 3 shots. Scott Barr, on the other hand, was picking up a lot of birdies, putting really well. So I think I just had to hang in there like I did for the Panasonic, and I was trying to get the same magic to work on 14, but I didn't make eagle. And luckily for me, Scott Barr made the same mistake as Maran last year and messed up the 17th.
But tell me something, when you were on those last 7 holes and strategizing, thinking where you could place the ball on the fairway and so on, what was going on in your head? What were you trying to tell yourself?
I think I was struggling to string together a series of good shots. I would hit a great shot, and then I would hit a very average shot, and then I'd hit another good shot and follow that up with not such a good shot. So I was just trying to focus on hitting every shot as well as I could, and trying to string together 2 or 3 shots and give myself opportunities. Because all of the first 3 days, I hit it really solid. I'd give myself lots of birdie chances. Well, that's what I didn't do on the last day. A lot of places I'd put myself in a good position and hit a weak shot. So all I tried to tell myself and my caddy was, let's just give ourselves a chance at birdie. Let's just try and get back in and hang on and hang in there. And luckily for me, it worked out.
At what moment did you get extremely nervous? Was it on the 18th hole where you felt that you had to take
the thing is, quite recently, about 4 or 5 weeks back, I had gone for a meditation course, and it's something that's still fresh and something that I'm practicing. And that really helps me in staying in the present and not getting too excited or too upset on the golf course. So in that sense, I think I was a lot calmer than I was during the Panasonic Open in a similar situation. So as far as nerves go, I probably just felt my heartbeat race when I had to hold the 5-foot on the 18th hole, when I knew I had that to win the event after Scott Barr and probably Sawat had missed. That's probably why I didn't hit a good putt. But, all in all, I don't think I got as nervous or as tense as I have in the past, and that's a great thing.
But what did the playoff mean to you? Playoffs are where things get even tighter.
The thing is, it's so hard to pick a winner when there's a playoff because, it's like a tiebreaker in a tennis match.
Yeah.
Two guys going, head to head, all guns blazing, nobody, keeps anything back. And anything's possible. Fortunately for me, I won the toss. I think that was very important on who goes first, and I knew that if I could go first and put it in the fairway, that would put a lot of pressure on Prom, because that's what happened the last time. Because I think last time Maran won the toss and he went first, and he hit the fairway, and that makes it that much harder for you to hit it because he's in a great position to make birdie. Fortunately for me, I did that, and I think Prom hit a bad shot, and he hadn't really done that because I played the last 2 days with him and he was fantastic.
But a couple of times he told me that so-and-so got it wrong or got unlucky or didn't get that right. So do you think sometimes, particularly with such great golfers, and everyone's sort of getting a good hand at the game right now, that it's really just someone's bad luck is your good luck kind of situation?
Well, the thing is, it's quite sad and it's quite ironic because, on a golf course like Delhi Golf Club, it's the guy who makes the lesser mistakes that wins.
Yeah.
And
everyone knows that before they enter.
Yeah, and that if you make more mistakes than you should, you don't deserve to win. And I've got lucky because I dropped a lot of shots yesterday. And fortunately for me, things worked out because when the pressure starts building on that back nine, it's like a pressure cooker. Those holes are not easy to finish.
Yeah.
If you have a 4 or 5 shot cushion, it's a completely different thing. But you can't play defensive on this golf course. And the moment you start playing aggressive, the golf course has a great chance of getting the better of you. So I think that's what's happened with the last few events that have happened here, not just with me, but every event.
But does it matter, particularly from the Delhi Golf Club point of view, that if you manage to get the lead, normally we tend to see people on every other day a different leader. This time around, you were pretty much the consistent leader over 4 days. Do you think that's something that really benefits on the Delhi Golf Club? I
mean, it's my first wire-to-wire win on the Asian Tour. It's just my second win. But on the Indian Tour, I think I won 4 or 5 times wire-to-wire, which is basically led through the entire event.
Yeah.
And what happens is if you get off to a good start on the first day and you get a lead and then you try and build on that and try and surge as far ahead as possible, it really helps because it gives you a cushion, it gives you breathing space. And also it gives you the comfort of knowing, I'm still ahead, I'm getting further ahead. And it's, it gives you the right frame of mind to go out and play.
It sort of helps build confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because if you're leading the entire field for 3 days, I mean, you should go and finish it off, right? Because you've played well enough to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you are in a wire-to-wire situation. So I think that does help a lot.
What has it meant for the young guns of Indian golf, you think? Because you and the rest of them all catch up after a game of golf.
Well, I think it's a good thing. Gaganji started the trend, 4 years back.
Yeah.
He won in 2009, followed that up in 2010 with another victory. Himmat and I both won last year, and it's nice to get the ball rolling this year as well. It's always important, I think, to get the second victory, because a lot of times the one-time winners or single winners are looked upon as guys who got lucky or who fluked it. So it's really nice, and it's really heartening for me to have won again, and gives me great confidence going into the rest of the year.
You love wearing green, so is this like one new color therapy happening on the course?
Well, nothing. As a kid and on one of our previous shows, if you remember, I used to wear a lot of different colors, yellows and pinks and reds and oranges. But as I've matured as a professional, I've also become a little more conservative in my clothing. So you can see I'm wearing grey, which is a very dull color.
Very different from John Daly's of the world.
Yes, absolutely. But the thing is, deep down inside, I am a colourful chap. I like to, play and experiment with them. And green is probably a passion or a current heartthrob for me, and I love wearing green. So I've got lots of green shirts, and you'll see me wearing a lot of green this year. Yeah,
particularly getting superstitious around that. Yeah, fluorescent green laces. Gosh, I hope that has not much to do with that. But that said, when you look at just the way the game is now shaping for yourself, what does 2012 hold for you? Are you being a bit selective about events you're headed to?
Well, yes. I think after winning last year, I faced a new problem, which was scheduling, which I never faced before, because you pretty much played everything you got into.
Yeah.
And I didn't do very, very well on that front. And that's something I sat down with my manager earlier in this year, and you know, we decided to sit down and say, okay, this is how many events that I should play. I shouldn't play more than 4 weeks or 5 weeks in a row, and I should have at least 2 weeks in between such 2 stints or 3 stints, and I've got to pace myself out. And if we do that, which events do we miss? Do we miss the smallest events, or do we miss events that I'm not comfortable, you know, with the golf course? So there's a lot of thought that has gone into my you know, planning this year, and hopefully you know, that pays dividends.
Hopefully it does, yes. And even as you space it out, you said you went for a course in meditation. Are you likely to take more of these courses?
Well, the thing is, I went for a Vipassana meditation course. That was my 3rd course. I did my first course way back in 2005 as an 18-year-old, and you know, it changed my life as a golfer back then. And you know, after having done poorly last year, especially the second half of last year, you know, I was not in a great mental frame of mind, and that's when I decided that, you know, I need to go back and do this. And you know, it's really helped clear a lot of cobwebs in my head, and given me a lot of clarity and you know, equanimity when I'm playing as well. So yeah, it's really helped me, and it's something that I do intend on practicing and taking forward.
Who did you chat up with before you took up these courses? I mean, do you look up to people like Jeev, and do you?
Well, the thing is, it was by accident, because my mother went for the course in 2004. When one of her friends suggested that, you know, it's good, and when she came back, she felt a lot lighter and a lot at peace with herself. And having seen my mum like that, my dad went for a course later that year, and he also felt really, really rejuvenated after that. And you know, I was at a stage where I was just going into playing amateur golf, and you know, there was a big step up from me from junior golf to amateur golf. And I had also just left home and moved to Bangalore as a 18-year-old. Doing things by myself. So, and you know, I decided, what the heck, let me also go and see what it's all about. And it's a 10-day course, residential. You don't talk.
Yeah, you're just quiet
yeah,
by
I mean, there's no communication.
You and your soul kind of story, yeah?
Yeah, it's you and yourself, and you basically introspect, and you know, it's a beautiful and wonderful meditation technique, and it really changed my life as far as my golf was concerned. And you know, I went back in February this year, and it was fantastic. You know, I feel so much lighter. I think I left all my negative baggage of the previous years behind, and you know, I can look forward fresh and
came back straight on the fairway, bagged the greens, and headed off. But you know, I wonder though, as golfers, do you feel that suddenly the emphasis on the mental game has sort of increased a great deal? Because otherwise, often or not, everybody would just fly to another part of the world, practice with a new coach, and that's what became the regime.
Golf ideology in India is changing. You know, about when I was a kid, when I was 12, 13, the norm was, if you want to turn pro, go to America for college golf, play college golf at the NCAA for 4 years, come back and turn pro. And you know, as I moved into my late teens and into my 20s, that norm has pretty much disappeared. Because, you know, there were a few candidates such as Jeev and Shiv who've done it, but there were scores and scores of talented young kids, my you know, contemporaries as juniors, who went there and they didn't make it. So you know, there was no fixed norm, and you know, just like that, I think we're coming to realize now that, you know, in between your years is where you need to be the strongest. Because if you go to the range and you see, you know, in a professional event, you go to the range and you see people hitting balls, you can't really tell one from another for quality. Everybody hits it great. You know, so what is it that you know, separates one from another, and somebody who actually ends up winning from another person? So I think the emphasis has moved more to the short game and the mind game. Getting the pressure points. From the technical points.
Indeed,
exactly.
So you know, your dad and mom weren't here when you picked up that trophy. Is that an intentional move? Do you like to, you know, since you travel a lot and you never know when you're going to win and when you're not? So
well, the thing is, I mean, my parents are very involved. Obviously, I mean, they've been the backbone of my golf, of my life, and they continue to be so. But the thing is, I think they've also learned to understand how I go about my golf, and you know, they now prefer watching from behind the ropes instead of you know, being actively involved with it. And you know, I think I have you know, had them over for a few events, but you know, when you're going to win is anybody's guess. But yes, you know, the trophy is going to go back into their cabinet in Hyderabad, and I hope it stays there.
Who's the first person you call when you win?
Well, it's either my mom or dad. Usually I alternate. If I win once and I call mom, then I make sure I call dad the next time. before fingers are pointed.
Now that you've seen this time around here, and it's a big event and it tends to catch a large number of people's attention, were you relatively happy looking at the size of the gallery and the interest, at least on the final day?
Yes, I think it was nice to see a few people out. I think over the last few years the gallery has been up and down, sometimes very very busy and sometimes not. But it was nice to see. I think the weather is also great for people to come out and watch.
And can't deny, in bad times it's some of the big money that's going out there, so somehow it does get that attention.
I think yesterday was a bit too tight to call, and that's why more people came out. I mean, I would have preferred to have won by 3 or 4 shots, and that might have had fewer gallery coming out, but that's all right.
But this also strengthens you as a golfer, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I think I've learned from all my experiences. I've had a couple of bad ones late last year when I didn't convert my my victories on the PGTI tour, and I had to take heart from that, and I've learned from that. And even my performance yesterday wasn't great. I didn't play my best golf, not even near that, but I managed to pull through, and that was really important for me. That I have that belief that I can get through it. And I did, so it's fantastic. It's really great.
But sometimes you have to just keep yourself on the outcome and forget. Okay, fine. There are different ways to get there. Even if sometimes they're bad.
I think mentally speaking, how most of us approach it is it's all about process. You got to try and be as process oriented as possible instead of result or goal oriented.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I was happy that I followed my process. I stayed in the present. I didn't get too far ahead of me, or I didn't let a previous hole or a previous shot affect me. So in that sense, I was really happy with the way I conducted and behaved on the golf course.
Yeah.
And that's a big positive for me going forward.
Quick word on how the new experimenting around the game of golf, what is being called the IPL, of the team games that we are expected to see in the golfing season here in India. Likely to work, you think, or interesting?
Well, it's a great format. I mean, it's something that's going to definitely make the game more popular, at least with the masses, because somebody, a Delhiite who otherwise is not interested in golf, might just be interested in it if the Delhi team is doing well, and likewise for all the other city teams. So it's a concept that is a bit of a iffy. We don't really know. It's a punt, but if it works, great. And even if it doesn't work, it's a fantastic event. Even for the golfing community, it's a great event. And it's different from what we do.
A large number of CEOs are watching the show as we speak, and they can clearly see that they watch out for the golfing stars in India. Thankfully, there's someone who likes to watch most of our stars here. I want to know, how do you manage your money? Is it something you've sort of learned over the years?
Well, the thing is, fortunately for me, when I was an amateur and junior, and I was in Eagleton, and I used to stay there and I used to practice. Some of the patrons out there are very nice gentlemen. They kind of took me under their wing, and they kind of guided me, because they knew if I did well, what was to come. And they've given me a lot of good advice on how to handle it, how to invest, how to save. And I just try and do as much of that as possible.
But you still do it on your own?
Yes, I do it on my own. I do have, I do have an investment banker or whatever. Now, luckily, I can afford to have one now. But I try and be as careful with my money as I can.
Hopefully, you'll get some more calls after this victory. But great, it's good to speak to you, Anirban. Thanks so much.
Pleasure's mine. Thanks, Shaili.
Great, thanks. Many more victories.
Thanks so much.